We do see some carpal tunnel in the office, and oftentimes we find that it's actually misdiagnosed. Everybody knows that carpal tunnel. We typically see numbness and tingling in the hands and the fingers. There's several different things that can cause those very same symptoms. What we need to do is really address: is it the carpal tunnel? The carpal tunnel is right at the wrist. There are several bones in that area, several joints in that area. There's a little aponeurosis. There's some connective tissue that goes over the top, and through that tunnel, right between the bones and between that little connective tissue, we've got blood vessels and we've got nerves. And if this actually gets encroached or gets too small, or it gets inflamed, those muscles, tissues, tendons, etc., then we can get some of those symptoms in the hand. However, there's many other things that can mimic carpal tunnel syndrome. One of the other things that can mimic carpal tunnel syndrome is called thoracic outlet syndrome. Basically, you've got three nerves that come out of the neck right here, and there's three muscles that kind of overlap. For people that do a lot of overhead work, whether you're screwing in a light bulb or you're painting or those kind of things, oftentimes bringing the shoulder up can irritate some of those muscles, cause those to engage, and actually put pressure or irritation onto the nerves themselves. Sometimes we'll actually see things clamp down so much that we'll see a change in the blood flow. You'll actually get a decrease in the pulse when we're in a position like this. So this needs to be identified and examined in order to determine if it's actually carpal tunnel syndrome or thoracic outlet syndrome. One of the other things that can mimic carpal tunnel syndrome, causing those very same symptoms, numbness, tingling, pins and needles, even sometimes we'll get weakness with it, are peripheral nerve entrapments. What this is the nerve becoming entrapped in an area outside of the spine. And once it leaves the spine, they can consider it a peripheral nerve. There's many different areas along the tract of the nerve that go down the arm. Some of the nerves will come out here and into the brachial plexus. They'll go underneath the shoulder here. One will go behind the shoulder, one will come in front, and then they're going to run down. So there's many different areas, both in the front, like underneath the pec minor. Other times it's behind the shoulder itself. Sometimes we'll get it behind the elbow, in front of the elbow, or anywhere along the path of that nerve. Some nerves go through different connective tissues from one side of the body to the other, and where the hole is that nerve goes through. Sometimes that can be an impingement site and something that we need to look at. So again, looking at symptoms that mimic carpal tunnel syndrome, we also look at thoracic outlet syndrome and, again, peripheral nerve entrapments as well. So once we identify what exactly is going on with the numbness, tingling, pins and needles, those symptoms, if it's carpal tunnel syndrome, we're going to deal with, very specifically, we'll start looking at the joints, try to get the joints moving in the wrist as best as we can, as well as in the elbow. We'll also address some of the soft tissues that can cause extra stress in there. Maybe we'll work on some nerve glide. So a combination of chiropractic, getting the joints moving, getting the nerves functioning, acupuncture for pain control, and again allowing those muscles to relax a little bit more, as well as soft tissue and massage. Those are very good treatments for carpal tunnel in and of itself.